Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin and this is Wisdom Wednesdays, my special series on my journey with cancer, video number 53. So when's the last time you just hopped into bed with a perfectly good stranger? No, I really don't want to know the answer to this question. But it's a question that helps, I think, a lot of people understand what it means to share emotional intimacy during the course of all sorts of conversations rather than just doing something, walking into an activity with no history and no relationship. So I have noticed that as my oncologist and I have begun to talk less about primary treatment because I've done most of that, we've begun to talk about life and about managing myeloma and living with this terminal disease rather than kicking it or, however you want to talk about it, beating it. And that has required, an investment in our relationship. We've talked more it feels like talking with a friend, right? Rather than just talking to the doctor about which treatment is next. And we've invested it over, many years now in the relationship and the kinds of things I feel like I can share with her. Honestly, I feel like I could share most anything with her. But that's not true for everybody I talk to. And it might seem like a surprise since I am putting these videos online for anybody who would like to review them and hopefully gain something from them. But I'm also not telling you every bit of detail because we don't all have that level of emotional intimacy that would support that. So we've been talking about what it means to not die from myeloma, but to live with myeloma. How do I want to spend my time? Where do I want to invest my attention and focus and energy? Which isn't perfect, it's certainly not like that sort of unending energy I used to have. And as we've talked, the question has become, do you want to continue working? Do you feel like you can still be effective? Do you feel like that's a good use of your energy? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. So many people probably don't know that I love what I do. And I feel like I want to continue working with my clientele until such time as it really takes away from my energy. Right now, when I work with clients, it actually refuels me and I'm so passionate about it. It's fun to spend time in that space. So a recent question of me when we last met is, well, what are you doing next? And here's where this question comes in. We are launching another series of our masterminds. We have 2 masterminds that are coming up for launch. And both of them, I just want to talk about like what it means to opt in for a mastermind. A mastermind is getting together with a group of people. In our case, we see 10 people at a time for 2 hours a week for 12 weeks. And we don't just chit chat. We don't just chit chat about business strategies. We don't just chat about, how to, best talk to your team or your employees. People can opt in for personal reasons or professional reasons or both. And the reality is, this mastermind is different. This is about building intimacy between leaders. This is about using that intimacy to deepen the connection you have to yourself, to each other, and maybe to something greater than the self. And that is all in process for heightening your authenticity, for really coming to know yourself. And what we've found is that the better people know themselves, the clearer they are about their communication, their intentions, and their goals. and they tend to make greater progress as they move forward. So I said before, you know, would you just, dive into bed with somebody you didn't know? When was the last time you did it? I mean, for a lot of us, the answer is going to be like, oh, a long time ago. I guess for some, maybe it's yesterday or last night. So I think about the mastermind as something that is very emotionally intimate. And I think it actually takes a lot of courage to join the mastermind, because you're going to be speaking not just about what you do for a living, but how you feel and what stands in the way of moving forward. And sometimes that stuff that we find below the surface is deep and it can be painful. Sometimes it makes you laugh. I had an insight about something the other day, and I just kind of stood up and sat down and stood up and sat down, and I said, oh my God, really? Really? That has been evading me for 30 years? Really? And then I laughed and I thought, okay, well, let's do it. Let's resolve this here and now. I don't need that standing in my way anymore. But how do you do that work with people you don't know? How do you get that kind of courage? So I'm here just to give a little bit of an idea. How about if the first 10 people who respond to this video or DM me, I'm going to invite you to get on a call with me and just do a very quick screen for a 1-hour free mastermind, just to experience what it's like to do some of the exercises we do, what it's like to share. And we'll probably just focus on connection, since 1 hour really is a short amount of time, especially with 10 people. But it'll give you a feeling for how we run the mastermind and why. So if you've had some interest in this before and you've seen my posts about the masterminds that we run at the Institute, this is a perfect time, completely cost-free to you, to sample it, to test drive it, to see, is this something you can be courageous and engage in? So I think that this is my roundabout way of letting you know I'm here. I'm eager. I am, as Monty Python used to say, I'm not dead yet. I am really dialing in to the things I love to do. We have corporations that we work with that they'll take their whole executive team, or 10 at a time, and put them inside masterminds so they can get to know one another better. We have other masterminds that are filled with people who've never ever met before, and sometimes combinations of people who come in with friends or colleagues that they know, because it helps them build a little bit of that emotional intimacy. So it's not quite so fearsome, I guess, when they join. We also do masterminds for couples. And the one that we're running currently, or getting ready to launch, is for couples who are going through the fertility journey and would like to spend time with other couples going through the same thing. So if you are interested in either of those and you want to sample, you want to have a little foreplay, we'll keep on going with this theme, then go ahead and DM me or contact me. And you can do that right here through LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or you can just contact me at 858-481-8810. It is my business cell, so you can text to me as well if you like. Please don't abuse the number. And I'd be happy to chat with you and see if you're right for this mastermind. So keep on thinking about that notion of how we share and with whom we share, and how we build intimacy in order to share. And if you are just, randomly hopping into bed with people you don't know, maybe consider why you're doing that and how it's working for you. It might be working well. I don't know. But if it's not working well for you and you'd like to maybe build some skills for improving your level of emotional intimacy and your abilities to do so, go ahead and hit me up, DM me, PM me, IG me, message me. Text me, call me. I am around, usually on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least a few hours every week, and would love to hear from you or your team. I can let you know what kinds of options are currently available. So this is Sage Breslin from Wisdom Wednesdays. Your wisdom for today, I hope, is consider how it's going to work for you if you jump into bed with that absolute stranger. Hope you have a great week and a great day or evening wherever you are.